Hi there, Virgo. This is Michelle coming at you with Page of Wands, Tarot and Oracle readings. This is your twin flame reading for the month of August. Just as a little recap, the energies we were dealing with for July, sorry about the light, had to do with divine masculines really leaving something emotional behind and focusing on love, right? And moving into a new sort of way of being. And feminines, this was all about you trying to find peace, really your inner peace, and stop fighting yourself so hard. And I was getting an overall message of redefining how you feel about wealth and how you define wealth, and what your relationship to wealth is. And that means wealth on a really encompassing, an all-encompassing level. Okay, so all of those things that bring our souls wealth, right? So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I've been meditating over the cards and shuffling them already, and I am using this time this Wild Unknown tarot deck, and this one's really cool, and I'm going to use this one for all of my readings in August. And then I'm going to go ahead and clarify as well, and I'm trying to keep these short once again. So 3 cards on the left for divine masculine. The first card is going to represent how the divine masculine is feeling about himself. The second card, how he's feeling towards his feminine, and the third is the outlying energy. Feminine, same thing. First card, how you're feeling about yourself. Second card, how you're feeling about your masculine. And the third card, outside energies that are affecting the situation. And then we've got 2 connecting energy cards in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay these out. Okay, so divine masculines, the first card I get for you is the 4 of Wands in reverse. This card is all about the happy family, happy home card in the traditional deck, where it talks about structure and it talks about foundations. But in the reverse here, this card is talking a little bit about maybe not feeling that so much, not feeling like you have structure and foundation within your life right now for whatever reason, or perhaps feeling like any structure and foundation that was in your life has somehow been dismantled or somehow been torn down, and you're sort of missing this feeling of security. Okay, so that's how you're feeling internally. How you're feeling about your feminine is the 5 of Cups in reverse. And this card, this reminds me of that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? So in the upright, this would be about focusing on the 2 cups that, or the 3 cups that have been spilled, and not the 2 cups that are still standing. So in the reverse, I see this as sort of coming out of this stage of sadness and maybe focusing a little bit too much on whatever it is that you feel that you've lost with your feminine. And in the reverse, again, I think that, we're really coming out of this, where if it was upright, you may still be feeling like you were really holding on to that sadness, really concentrating on that sadness, and perhaps not seeing the other opportunities that are there, or perhaps just not learning the lessons involved with this situation. Okay, so upside down, I usually do see this as a good omen of sort of coming out of a time of sadness. And then underneath that, we have the Death card in reverse. So, masculines, if something is kind of blocking you from being able to let go of this sadness, if we're looking at this card in the sense that you really haven't been able to let it go, and it's continuing, and you're not learning the lessons, you're not seeing what you're supposed to be seeing, it could be because there's an outward energy here of not transitioning internally and making the changes within yourself that you need to make. And I've been talking about in a lot of my videos, and a lot of other readers and astrologists have been talking about this new energy that we're into finally with 2017 in this new year, this 1 year where because 2017, 2017 adds up to be 10, right? Which indicates new beginnings finally, and all of that old, nasty, dark energy that was holding us back in 2016 finally making its way out, and a new opportunity here for transitions, right? And on a cosmic level, but the Death card, I see this as something internal in you that needs to be shifted and needs to be transformed. And for whatever reason, when it's in the reverse, you're not allowing it to happen. Or things are playing out in your life that aren't necessarily allowing this energy to come in. And you may be feeling very resistant to this change that needs to happen, right? And this could be a result of an old paradigm, an old way of doing things, an old sense of security, something in the past that made you feel like you had everything you need and you were within those nice, comforting structures has been broken down and lost. And you have felt this, really deep sadness because of that. And I think that may be affecting this inability to really want to transition and move on. Divine Feminines, I have the Three of Cups reversed here about how you're feeling about yourself. This to me points to, a sense of not having joy and not being able to celebrate and not seeing things in your life that are positive and are worth celebration. And perhaps this could also be feeling like there could have been a third-party situation involved with this, since it is a 3, and on an emotional level, maybe like on a romantic level, where there may be 3 people involved that are all kind of heartbroken and that have all been negatively affected. Or again, this could just be in general that you feel like you haven't been really going out, you haven't been celebrating, you haven't been going out with your friends, you haven't been doing the things that bring you joy for whatever reason. I see this as sort of a state of depression and a lack of joy. But right underneath that, how you feel towards your masculine, we've got the 6 of Wands here. This is very positive, as you can see with the rainbow overhead. This is a victory card. This is about having been through struggles and being able to come through on the other side of that and really find a light at the end of the tunnel and really find that rainbow after the storm. That's what this represents, right? So even though you may be sitting with yourself in a place of sadness and feeling like you don't have joy and you can't celebrate, I feel that you have the potential to feel victorious here and feel like all of this hard work that you've been doing is actually going to pay off. And then right underneath that, we have the Mother of Pentacles. And this is such a great Virgo energy card, right? We've got an earthy card here. Pentacles is an earthy suit. This is about your wealth and your health and your spirituality, your home life. There's a cute little fawn there with her. This is a very motherly card, very nurturing. A lot of times I do see this as the wife and mother, or the wife, worker, mother, somebody that takes their responsibilities very seriously, someone that's very much in control of making a happy home life. And so I think that this is something, feminines, that you can be really reveling in right now, or you can really be working towards. Whether you have children or not, or you have, a spouse or whatever, this is more about how do you make your home? What do you do for money? What do you do as a business person, a career person, or even a creative person, but something that brings you money and contributes to how you build your comfort and your wealth around you. Okay? And so then the connecting energy we have is the Daughter of Pentacles. So this would be like the Page. And, pages a lot of times are about, there could be a message here, it's like the start of something, right? And with this Pentacle card, this could almost be like an idea. We're past that seed that's been planted with the Ace, and we're here now in being able to do something with that seed, being able to really work with it and nurture it and bring it into form and make it into something. And a lot of times, because this is Pentacle, this would have to maybe do a little bit with some study or some apprenticing work, where we know that we have the ability and the resources to really work with this idea or work with this thing that's been planted and turn it into something really great. Okay? And then the other connecting energy we have is the Chariot. This is great. This is all about mastery. This is all about overcoming challenges, moving in the right direction, moving in a positive direction, right? A lot of times with great speed. It's about sort of holding the reins of your own life and moving your life in such a way that it's going to be fruitful for you and it's going to have success. So those are some really positive connecting energy cards here for both of you. And I'm going to go ahead and clarify now over on the masculine side and see what we get. By the way, guys, if you would like a personal reading, I've put my information in the description box as always. And again, this is your twin flame reading, and this is for Virgo, masculine and feminines for the month of August. We are going to have some really awesome eclipse energy going on here that's going to bring up a lot of stuff that I think will be good, actually. I almost feel like we're done with the purging, but any of those last things that need to really just be brought up and moved out, that's what these eclipses are really going to afford for us, okay? So I'm done shuffling over here. I'm going to go ahead and clarify on both sides. Okay, so masculines, the first card you got on top of the Six of Wands is the Four of Swords. The swords are all about the mind and ideas and thoughts, right? But this card in particular, which is a little unusual for swords, this is about resting. See the little lamb there with the light on her head? This is like stopping for a minute, stopping with the overthinking and the overanalyzing and just sitting with your thoughts and really trying to get to the truth of the matter and really trying to connect with that divine knowledge so that you can understand what is going on here, because that is what is going to enable you to take the right steps to move forward. Right under that, on top of your grief in reverse card here, we have the Mother of Swords in reverse. I feel like this card is really just amplifying that Five of Cups in reverse, even though that's a suit of emotions and and so water represents emotions and everything, and this Mother of Swords is very much more about, again, the mind and ideas. This could be in the upright, someone that is very judicious, very fair. She is intellectual. She's got a lot of her own ideas. She knows what she wants. She's decisive. But in the upright, this could be someone that is just kind of gone cold, right? She's just sort of, and again, even though I'm saying she masculines, it does not matter what gender these court cards have, okay? This is just the energy here that something is cold. And actually, this is how you feel about your divine feminine. So this could really be representing her to you. You could feel like she has just been being really cold and, kind of a bitch and not, been nurturing things, has not felt sensitive or compassionate or whatever. And, maybe you just feel like all of the potential that this had for this love and this emotion is gone because she is just sort of like, non-responsive or literally cutting you with her words. She's probably in a state where she's being overly defensive toward herself. Okay, I see this as being very, very overly protective and protecting her heart. And then, very interesting, on top of the Death reversed, we have the Devil reversed. But, if we're going to see the Devil, a lot of times I like to see him like this, where he's in reverse, because this means that normally where this guy could be keeping you feeling very bound and very chained to something that could be an addiction or could be an obsession, or just something that's making you feel like you can't move forward and you can't move on in your journey, that's going away now. And we're coming out of that energy, and you're realizing you don't have to let that have such a hold on you anymore. And I think that is a really positive omen on top of the Death in reverse, because this is telling me you need to let this happen. You need to let go of whatever it is that's keeping you feeling stuck and that is keeping you from being able to make the transition. Divine Feminines, on top of the Three of Cups reversed and your sort of lack of joy card here, and your maybe antisocial card here, we have the Emperor. And this is a fantastic card. And again, this is how you're feeling about yourself. So I want to say that this is all about having the potential to tap into an extremely strong, fierce, masculine energy that is actually also very fair and very compassionate towards the things that you believe in. And this is someone that is just a master of something. This could be, really mastering your own business or just mastering your life on a multitude of different levels. This is somebody that rules their kingdom, right? And does it fairly. There can be a little bit of an oppressive energy with the Emperor, but seeing as this is pertaining to you and yourself, I feel this as sort of trying again to come out of this state of this sadness and this lack of feeling social and this lack of being able to find joy, perhaps because you're working on like nurturing your inner Emperor and making your life something better that you can control. All right. And then right under that, how you feel about the Divine Masculine, we have the Four of Pentacles on top of the Six of Wands. So you've got this victory card, this victory after battle, which again, very positive here, especially with the Emperor card on top of it. And next to it with the Four of Pentacles, we get something on a foundational level that you've worked really hard to build. And you've worked really, really hard to set into place where this is going to be something that you can, it's almost like saving money for later and investing in your future, right? And this could be investing in the relationship with your masculine and holding on to that because you know it's worth something to you. But this card does come with a warning about holding on too tight, all right? And it does warn you that because it's a four and it's in the suit of Pentacles, you've kind of got like earth on earth where it's a really fixed energy, and the four is a really stable, solid, fixed energy as well. So they sort of are amplifying each other. And so I see this as a warning not to hang on too tightly with whatever it is you feel like you're being able to work through with your masculine, but knowing that you can rest victorious in this because whatever it was that you were trying to put in place and you are trying to build for the future, and I'm being told to go back to this Daughter of Pentacles card because this is again about starting to make that happen, right? And with this connecting energy here, possibly the masculine is sort of resting and reevaluating and trying to get comfortable in this transition. Remember when we talked about in July having to move on from a situation that's not emotionally fulfilling and focusing on love? Perhaps, the masculine will be thinking about this now, coming out of their grief and figuring out how to allow that internal transition to happen so they can start actually implementing things. And feminines, I feel like you've already started this, okay? Because on top of your beautiful Mother of Pentacles, which would be, 2 steps ahead of this Daughter of Pentacles, somebody that's already done that work and is already established sort of an air of comfort and secure home life and, career life around you. I feel like you've really taken that to the next level already because you've also got this amazing Nine of Pentacles reinforcing that Mother of Pentacles. But in this sense, again, remember I said this doesn't mean you have to have a family and children. On the contrary, the Nine of Pentacles is not only about reevaluating that wealth, which is what we talked about last month as well, but it is about feeling confident and being able to really show off everything that you have worked so hard for and sort of sit in the lap of your own luxury. So I feel like these cards here are just sort of one is an extension of the other, where you really are in a place where you have built, career-wise, I see really with this a lot with work, that you really are building something that you're going to be able to see results from, and you're going to be able to rest very assured in your own success. So when we talk about finding peace and not like beating yourself up and finding that self-worth and reevaluating your relationship to wealth, I think you're really doing that work here, feminines, and that's extremely positive and uplifting. And then you've got the Chariot here. So this just tells me that things are really moving in the right direction and that you guys are really mastering your control of the way you're moving your destiny along and the way you're moving your energy along. So bravo, Virgos. This is a huge change from what I saw in July, and I think that this is just fantastic. And again, maybe those eclipses are helping to kind of like, will help to sort of give you that final push, but I really do feel like, which would be so typical of you guys too, because you are such hard workers, I feel like you've really done the work here. You've really got this beautiful, this is a major arcana card too, you've got this beautiful energy on your side that is just going to move things in the right direction for you. Masculines still needing a little bit of help there, but that's okay. We're going to pull some clarifiers here to see if we can't get a better idea of what you can do to really allow this transition to happen, divine masculines, and come out of, this sadness, and understand that, maybe if your feminine is seemingly a little bit cold, it could be because she's just working on bettering herself. And that's a very, very good thing, because that's going to get her in that place of worthiness and knowing that she can really sit pretty in her own success and her own independent sense of self. That is a good thing, right? So we'll go ahead and pull, and I'm going to use my Vintage Oracle deck for clarifiers here, which is very lovely. And we're going to go ahead and pull this. Anybody that watched the video last time, my son's not here, so sorry, we're not going to get any surprise visits this time. But yeah, that was pretty fun. He showed up in, I think, Libra's video too. It was another one. But we're going to go ahead and pull one clarifier for masculines, one clarifier for feminines. Okay, perfect. So masculines, you got intention. So this is all about, and I love this card with this Four of Swords, because I feel like this is about sitting quietly and not acting for the time being, and gathering your thoughts in order to understand what it is that is really the crux of the issue here, and what needs to happen, and that you need to really solidify your intention of what you want, okay, and what you intend to bring to yourself in this journey, and how you intend this transition to happen, and this letting go of feeling bound by something that's holding you back. This could be a lot of things, guys. This could be a breakup with a past relationship. This could be leaving a job that's made you feel really unfulfilled. This could be about family situations that are keeping you feeling tied, right? So in the midst of this feeling like all my structures are broken down, everything has sort of fallen apart, and I'm not standing on a firm foundation anymore, I don't have, my happy, stable life anymore, a little bit of this rest here, and this taking a break and a reevaluating your intentions, what you want, and how you intend to bring that up and manifest that, how you intend to take this earthly energy here and work towards making the seed of what you do have left and what you do want, and turning that into something beautiful and nurturing that into something that will be fruitful and that can help you move forward. Okay? Feminines, for you, I got listening. This is all about listening to messages. This could definitely be about listening to other people. It could be about listening to psychic readers. It could be listening to your best friend. It could be listening to your psychiatrist. It could be listening to your mother. This is all about your little sparrows there and your birds, your little spirit guide animals. This is all about taking in and listening to those messages, and really taking the things that you hear to heart, but also being able to discern what messages are right for you. What I'm also getting with this card is that if you have been communicating at all with your masculine, I like to think that this means that he has been listening to what you're saying. So even if he's not responding to you, whatever else you're doing with your career and your home life, and how you build your wealth and your structure around you, and how you are choosing to rule your kingdom and stop dealing with this lack of this sadness and this sort of inability to feel joy, whatever you are doing is working out really, really well for you. And he may be listening to that, or this could just be about listening for your next steps here and continuing to do that and continuing to take the advice on how you need to move forward. Okay, so those are the basic energies for August. I'm going to read 2 cards for each one from the Sacred Rebels deck. This is Elena Fairchild. She writes awesome messages, and I'm going to read from the book because anybody that does tarot and oracle, as you know, sometimes the oracle cards, there's a lot of things that we can get from the messages, and a lot of times they're put a lot more eloquently than I can put them, and sometimes the phrases on the cards don't really do justice to the actual message involved. So I'm going to pull one for each. So masculines, I'm getting she feels, she knows. And this does have a feminine overtone to this deck. So just sort of try to keep that in mind and ignore it. Either this is talking about your feminine feeling and knowing what's going on with you, and perhaps, too, feminines, it could be that you're listening to your masculine if he is communicating with you. I don't see a lot of communication going on here, I gotta be honest with you. However, this card has other meanings to it as well. And it's less about knowing what's going on and more about feeling what's going on, right? So let me go ahead and read the message for the Divine Masculines with that card. That's a 22, by the way, guys, which is a 4, which does speak to this is a very solid foundational number. Numerology in these oracle cards doesn't really mean a whole lot, but I like to point it out there, sometimes anyway. An illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. All right, so right away, I see an eye a lot of times with this card too, guys. I heard a reader refer to this as the eye sometimes, with being able to really see how the structures around you can bring in what you want and how you envision that to happen, because sometimes this is all about reevaluating what you feel brings structure and foundation to your life, right? That could be why it's in the upside down, and that would really require you to stop and think and evaluate what it is you want and how you define that now. So I think we're really getting that here with saying that this is something obscured being brought into clarity, which is the need for the rest, and is sitting with this sort of truth here and this knowledge and figuring out what that is, okay? This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as more of a softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This insight will assist you, and you are asked to honor it. You will know which insight it is at the right time. Your heart will tell you. You are therefore being asked to rely upon the clarity that is coming to you now or has just recently come. Gently but firmly, from that place of knowing, intend to act and take your next steps forward. Intend to act. Intention, right? To take your next steps after you figure out what that clarity is that you need to know. All right? I love it when they come together like that. This oracle comes to you with guidance, particularly about long-range or long-term developments. Something that is far bigger than the immediate situation, issue, or moment is of importance, although you will only have a dim sense of that possibility at best. The situation you find yourself in right now may not be one of joy. Where is it? May not be one of joy, okay? See if I didn't lose my space here. But in time, you will understand more of the bigger picture. You will come to see why things are happening as they are and how you are being helped onto the next stage of your path, even though it may look like an obstacle right now. And again, with that Chariot card and moving, right? You are being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. Sometimes this warrants change or even temporary restrictions in the short term. Again, with your Death reversed, allowing an internal transition to happen. If you can't see how the present can possibly become what you sense the future to be, this message is especially relevant. Through the natural process of transformation, great leaps are indeed possible. Transformation, allow it to happen, guys. You have this cosmic universal energy pushing you in the right direction. You got to sit with that, intend how you want to move next, right? Through the natural process of transformation, great leaps are indeed possible. You simply must be prepared to surrender into the process with absolute trust. This oracle brings you specific guidance. The situations in your current life are particularly geared towards a more significant manifestation that is coming to you, according to your life path and purpose. This is a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds. Again, a center that will hold you strong, right? A foundation that will hold you strong. You're rebuilding that. This is awesome. Totally, totally awesome. All right, let's see. This is a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds and your life path becomes ever more brilliant and luminous. So keep plugging away, remain patient, but most of all, be hopeful and trust in the light you sense ahead of you, for it is the light that is within you, simply revealed more fully, and all that is happening now is happening to that end. Wow, that could just not be more perfect. And then when they talk about the patience here, the patience in making that happen, the diligence here, a sort of steadfastness, commitment to the change and the process that needs to happen, and allowing this internal change and transformation to happen, knowing the universe is moving you in the right direction, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, acting with intention once you know what that is, and then restructuring your foundation, your sense of security and peace. Amazing, divine masculines. So great. Definitely see that energy moving along from you from the last reading. That is for sure. And that's what we want to see. We want to see progress, right? All right, feminines. Can't wait to get to yours. I love this card. Sacred Fool. This card to me, I mean, obviously she's kind of dressed like the Joker here, right? Like a jester. And she's got the little marionette there. I love that we were talking about peace last time and not being so hard on yourself, because this card is all about just like letting it all hang out, letting your freak flag fly, right? I see so much work being done for you to establish your foundations here, to come into a sense of victory, to feel like you are really being able to control your kingdom and get out of this like feeling of just loss of joy and sit in the lap of your own luxury. And this is how you're going to do it, feminines. Sacred Fool. Also a 4, by the way. So let's read that one. And I'll try not to lose my place, but I get excited when I see all the obvious connections between the tarot cards and the messages in the oracle card. All right, that's why I call them a monocle as opposed to an oracle. It's kind of the same thing, but they allow us to really zero in and focus in on what's going on here, right? The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated to or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heralds a time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate. Don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you are doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. That's that emperor energy, right? Doing whatever it is you want and controlling your own life and your own situation. The sacred fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The sacred fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try to outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playfully dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the sacred fool in you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heartstrings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. I love the message with this because I like that they bring in mass media, because this is all about tearing down the social norms. And I like anything that has to do with tearing down the social norms, okay? Because I believe that social norms are boring and restricting and oppressive most of the time. This oracle brings you a message. It's time for you to play. Okay, all that worky I see here, guys, time to let go a little bit. Time to scale it back a little bit. Like I said, know that you can rest easy in this sort of lap of luxury you built for yourself and enjoy it. Enjoy the hard work that you've done and relax a little bit and let go. It's time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. That is okay. This is good, actually. It is a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now because a bigger life adventure is calling to you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy, wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it. The sacred fool goes with this, without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you may find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls at will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. So I could go on because this is a really, really long one, but basically this is just saying that you need to stay on your path, stay on your journey, remember to take nothing too seriously, and it will all work out perfectly. So great messages for you, Virgos. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you move into August feeling like you really are moving into this brand new energy and really are being able to embrace the newness and the wonderfulness that all of this hard work is going to bring forth for you. So thank you so much for listening. I can't wait to join you again. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.